The objective of this exercise is to configure and connect an IoT system to Azure Cloud. For that, we need to clone the Smart Asset Tracking project example, prepare and configure all the hardware devices included in the IoT system, and then deploy the resources on Azure Cloud. In order to deploy on-field a project and check how the model that we trained on the cloud with the ST AIoT Craft behaves on a real system, we need to connect an IoT system. The IoT system is an entity that let us deploy on field, as we said, a model that we trained on ST AIoT Craft. We can either create from scratch a project and train a model inside and then configure an IoT system, or start directly with a project example. So one of them is the smart asset tracking that we'll use today with this exercise, and connect it with the already configured IoT system that has been designed. So let's start cloning the smart asset tracking project on the user workspace. Okay, so the project has been already cloned. We already saw this project. Indeed, we already validated and tried the model locally with the board connected to the PC here. Now, what we want to do is using this project, deploy this project on field. So let's enter the IoT system that has been already configured for this project. As you can see here, the IoT system section is reporting one IoT system already configured, ready to run the model that has been trained in the context of this project. This system is composed by two devices, actually, a SensorTile.box Pro connected via USB to a gateway. So let's enter the gateway, the system. So let's enter the configuration wizard. This is the first page, the first view of the wizard where the bill of material is listed here. We need a SensorTile.box Pro, a Raspberry Pi 4 or newer as a gateway device, a USB cable in order to connect the lift device to the gateway device, a micro SD card in order to flash the custom OS image that we will download from here, and a micro SD adapter in order to flash the micro SD card. So let's give another name to the IoT system. And let's start with the first step. We need to flash the firmware device with the right firmware application. One meant for the data logging, remote data logging task, and the second one that will be flashed in another memory bank of the device, meant to executing the inference of the model remotely as well. So in order to start the flashing procedure, so let's switch on the board. So connect the board to the local PC, switch on the board by holding the user button to here displayed. So let's do it. Let's click on Flash Firmware, and as you can see, the DFU device is correctly recognized and displayed. Let's select it and let's start the flashing procedure. Has been done. So let's proceed with the gateway configuration. And in order to flash the image of the gateway on the SD card, first we need to download and install the Raspberry Pi Imager tool. After that, we need to download the Raspberry Pi, the custom image that is prepared for ST AIoT Craft designed for Raspberry Pi devices. I already installed the imager tool and downloaded the custom image. So we can proceeding with the flashing of the image in the SD card. So let's select from the imager tool the platform that we want to flash. In my case, I have here with me a Raspberry Pi 4. Let's select the OS. In our case, it is a custom image that I downloaded. Here we are. Now I need to select the SD card that I just plugged to my PC. So I don't want to apply any custom settings. And now I can start the image flashing. Okay, done. So now we need to proceed with deploying all the cloud resources required to connect the IoT system to the cloud. The only provider currently supported is Azure, and we can either select and deploy all the cloud resources on the Azure account provided by ST, or deploy everything on our Azure account. So in this case, let's leverage the ST Azure account just to fast prototype the solution. Fine. So now we need to insert the network credentials that will be used by the gateway in order to connect to get the internet connection. In my case, the gateway is connected via Ethernet, so I don't need any kind of Wi-Fi credential. So once done, let's generate the configuration file that we need to download. So the file has been generated. Let me download it, and let's place it um, in the SD card. So let's open it. This is the SD card, and now I can take the file that I downloaded here, and let's rename it with the right name. So we need to remove this suffix. Fine. Let's proceed with the wizard. And now we need to connect the Leaf device to the gateway via USB, switch on our gateway. And now, once we did that, let's wait in order to have the gateway up and running.